This is a little more about James Watson. I feel bad a bit about going off on James Watson and scientific research as I did, and pretty much ignoring his memoir, Avoid Boring People. I surprised myself in doing that, and it seems in retrospect unfair in some way, as if I had insulted someone who had come to my home as a guest, and so, by way of apology, I will say a little about his book. It is chronologically straightforward, but somewhat curiously constructed, having chapters which are designated Manners Learned during all the stages of his life, from childhood to college to research teams to teaching at Harvard and winning his Nobel Prize, of course. And at the end of each chapter, he includes a numbered list of what he calls remembered lessons, wisdom he acquired along the way. The manners learned are what I would call patterns of behavior, ways of acting, or strategies, really, for succeeding in whatever place or time the chapter covered. Watson sees life as a series of challenges that can be met and won, and he details exactly how to go about this, how to figure out what the rules are, wherever you may be, and how to act so you will be successful. As the title of his book suggests, he's very insistent about this. I will give some examples of this in a moment. I want to say that I was puzzled, I guess is how I would put it, at the way Watson would engage with young women and flirt with them, I would say, even when he knows they had boyfriends. He did this repeatedly, and he also hired them, if they were pretty and bright, to work as his assistants in the labs at Harvard or Cold Spring Harbor, or to help with typing out manuscripts. This got to be faintly creepy, somewhat mindful of Lolita and Humbert Humbert. Finally, he married one of them when he was 40. She was 19 and an undergraduate at Radcliffe. They seemed a loving and happy match, and no one around them expressed undue surprise, at least no one that he recorded, so I let the vaguely uncomfortable feeling go. Here are the quotes from his book. Most, but not all of them, are from his remembered lessons. If you are trying to break new ground, you must be prepared for most of your peers to think you are out of your mind. If, however, you cannot think of at least one, and preferably several, bright individuals who can take appreciative notice of what you are doing, your tenacity may very well indicate that you are either stupid or crazy. There is no good reason ever to be on the downward slope of experience. If you have a reason to believe you have a 30% shot of solving over the next 2 or 3 years a problem most others feel is not for this decade, that's a shot worth taking. Life was too short to share a department with so many prima donnas whose meager accomplishments scarcely justified even the status of has-been. This is about a professor whom he says is a sad man whose wife was ill. After listening to his opening talk, I could not have preserved my sanity listening to another. This is from an address he made when accepting the Nobel Prize. Good science as a way of life is sometimes difficult. It is often hard to have confidence that you really know where the future lies. We must thus believe strongly in our ideas, often to the point where they may seem tiresome and bothersome and even arrogant to our colleagues. I knew many people, at least when I was young, who thought I was quite unbearable. In the Darwinian world of an academic department, if you don't create such crises, such as threatening to quit, limited resources will surely go to gutsier colleagues. There is no downtime in the management of high-powered science. New ideas or techniques need to be quickly exploited before scientists elsewhere do experiments that your people could have done first. Success automatically creates the need for new personnel and facilities that often require new buildings. Never be or expect other scientists to be sentimental about institutions. Going down with the ship is nuts. As I noted in the previous piece, Watson eventually sank his own ship. That too is nuts, and I'm certain that it qualified, no doubt regretfully, as a remembered lesson.